If you give me just a few minutes of your time, I'm going to show you exactly how to propagate tomatoes in just 3 easy steps. Knowing how to propagate tomatoes is a useful skill to know if you don't have the time to wait for seeds to sprout, or if you have that friend with a variety you would really like to try. The quickest and most reliable way to propagate tomatoes is from cuttings, and I'm going to show you how you go from this to this in just over a week. Step number 1 is to locate the suckers and prune. On a tomato plant, you'll find the main stem that goes along with these branches coming out. The suckers are growing in between the branches and the main stem, and I like to think of them as like their own tomato plant. It's like a tomato plant growing off of a tomato plant. And right here on this plant, you see we have our main stem and our branch that comes out. Here's the sucker, and that's exactly what we want to snip off. If you're a fan of pruning your tomatoes anyway, you're going to be cutting these off as part of your maintenance routine, and rather than throwing this in your compost pile, you can use it to make more plants. Look for suckers without blooms, and for super fast growth, make sure to take cuttings from indeterminate varieties, as these will grow faster than the determinate ones. These 2 cuttings were started roughly 10 days to 2 weeks ago. This was the determinate variety, and this was the indeterminate variety. See the difference in root growth? Something I always find fascinating about tomato suckers, I just cut this one, and if you look along the stem, you can already see tiny little fibrous white roots just ready to be making contact with soil or water. Step number 2 is going to be to place your cuttings in either soil or water. The most popular and most reliable way to root tomatoes is going to be in water. This is what you see all over social media because it allows you to actually see the process of the roots growing through the bottle. Make sure to place your cuttings in the water almost immediately after you cut them so they don't dry out. Keep an eye on the water levels because as those roots grow, it will be drinking some of the water. I even change out the dirty water every few days. And most importantly, place your bottle in indirect sunlight. If you're growing your cuttings directly in the soil, make sure to get something like a cell pack. This will allow you to plant multiple cuttings. It's easy to control the moisture levels because it's nice and compact. Frequent waterings are going to be very important. Don't let that dry out. And you'll know it's time to plant because the roots will start to emerge from the bottom of the tray. Step number 3, transplanting. With the water method, you are going to have roots in about 10 days to 2 weeks, and you could plant this directly into your soil, but I think it's a better idea to go ahead and transplant it into something like a cell pack. That way you can easily manage the water and moisture levels, and those roots have a chance to get acclimated to the soil conditions. And then after about a week, this will have a nice big root ball on it, and then I would transplant that into the garden. Well, there you go, folks. That's how to propagate tomatoes. If you're new to the channel, my name is Justin, and I'm throwing out helpful garden tips and tricks all day long. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And until next time, become a plant person.